politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics.
Good evening and welcome to The Truth, Lies and Politics here on Spirit TV. My name is Paul Ekurot Eki, and this is a dynamic space where ideas collide, opinions ignite, and perspectives are challenged on the table. I do invite you to get involved and engaged in this conversation, a conversation that affects you and I, and you have an opportunity to make your independent decision with what has been said on the show. You can be a part of the conversation through our social media, that is at Spirit TV UG, on X, that is formerly Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And would like to hear what your comment is or what your thought is. Later on, we'll be opening up our phone lines and would like to hear you call. The phone lines will come onto the screen. We'll be glad to hear your voice as we get into this conversation. As the president concludes his socio-economic tour around the country this week, he's in the city, the Kampala metropolitan area. Of course, it will be crowned on Sunday at Kololo. With, I am not sure whether to call it a rally, or we shall find the right name to call it. But just before we get into our conversation and just before I introduce my guests, I would like to leave this one with you. President Museveni launched the 4th National Development Plan in June with the parish development model at its core. He's been touring the country to assess its impact, but has it really worked? This Wednesday on The Truth, Lies and Politics, we dive into the PDM. Has it delivered, or is it just another political promise? Is the real issue the program or the people behind it? Hard questions, bold conversation with our esteemed panelists only on The Truth, Lies and Politics on Spirit TV. Stay informed, stay engaged. Well, we do welcome you back to The Truth, Lies and Politics. And with me in studio are two guests. Our third guest, called in, he had an emergency, and we pray that his daughter gets fine. And so we'll keep you in our prayers, Mr. Osman Odaka. But in studio with me is Major Retired Awich Polar, who is the Director External Affairs, that is of the NRM. Good evening, sir, and once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Good evening to my colleague, my friend Ramshana, and good evening to the viewers.
Yes. We are glad that we have you here today. I'm
glad to be here too.
Thank you very much. And right to my extreme left is Mr. Charles Romushana, who is a political analyst and a former spy. And we're always glad to have him on the show. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
Who the child has been born. But Herod kills children. That's the exposition. So as Herod is killing children, you see God deploy an angel to guide Joseph and Mother Mary take the child to take Israel. So you see the mind of God is to save the child. Then the child is lost.
Yes.
And yet the mother knew who this child is, who this child was, given the message Mother Mary got from the angel Gabriel. So, but still they had to go and look for the child. The responsible family goes to look for, takes care of the child. And then finally, when Jesus Christ is an adult and is preaching, the crowd is like Herod stopped children from accessing Jesus. And Jesus Christ said,
leave them for the kingdom of God is for
those little ones.
For those little ones. You see, the mindset of this world was even stopping children. It was like Herod. And we are now again in those. I had told you about Gehenna, how the word Gehenna came up.
Yes.
That valley in Jerusalem where they used to slaughter kids and throw them in that valley. And Jesus prophesied the destruction of Jerusalem, which was done, I think, 70 years after resurrection. So now we are in the same cycle again.
Yes.
The IDF, Israel Defense Force, and Mr. Netanyahu are slaughtering children in Gaza. The world has made noise, people have talked, but it appears unbothered. You deny them food, you starve them, then you put food somewhere,
yes.
and actually there will be a stampede for food, and you bomb them as they come to look for food, and when you look at those scenes where kids are butchered, and it really looks very horrible. So we are back to the days of Herod, we are back to, but the kingdom of God is theirs. So, and God says the vengeance is God's. So we really don't know what is going to happen, but we are not safe.
Interesting. And thank you for that sobering message right there. And thank you very much, Mr. Charles from Mushana. Gentlemen, before we dive into our conversation, I liked looking at some of the things that happened during the week. And to begin with, tomorrow, NRM holds its party primaries, in the different areas or different regions in the country. And I would like to ask Major Awich, just one or two things on the expectations of what is happening tomorrow, and what this message should be sending to the rest of the country.
Thank you so much. We're going to have the primary tomorrow, but it's good to put it in the context, in the immediate past, that out of parliamentary election and LC5, we had 3,800 persons who expressed interest. This is a serious sign that our mighty NRM is popular, that for us at the Secretariat we have done the job, we have marketed the party, and that government has implemented its manifesto peacefully to make people love the party. So you can see from the background, for the number of people who express interest and the number of people who got nominated, 3,800. Remember, there are some parties who have no people turning up for their UPC by yesterday but one. There are 68 people who had picked nomination papers, the whole country.
68 only?
Yes, the entire country. For us, we're saying 3,000.
You are overwhelmed.
Yes. So, but that is a popularity of the party. Now, about tomorrow.
Or maybe people are using it as the only vehicle to get through for those positions.
Yes, you see, for somebody to come to a party, it must meet his interest. And interest varies. If his interest is to eat food on the table, then we have met the interest. As long as the interest is not criminal, is not illegal. But all of us have various interests. Some people have spiritual interests. It's spiritual in this sense that it is not a material interest that you can touch and eat.
Yes.
The spiritual interest are security, peace, okay? Security, peace, that kind of thing, which you don't eat, but you feel it. Those are their interest. Okay. Maybe he has money, but this is his interest. So interest varies. So whoever thinks that this is a party that can give me job, can access me position, so be it. The problem is it legitimate or illegitimate? Okay. Just like in law, you can't enter into a contract of illegality. So if your political interest is not a political interest of illegality, then be it. So we meet the interest, and that's why they come. So about tomorrow is that, honestly, it's a mixed feeling. We may have some challenges and may have smoothness. And this is basic from the fact that the demand for the party is high. So when you recruit so much in your party,
yes,
you get a challenge of managing internal democracy. But you can't shy away from it, because it's like, I have always said, it's like wanting to you solve a problem, and the solution you have created creates a problem. You want to industrialize, you build factories, you get a problem of pollution of the air. So you're not going to fear to industrialize because you have pollution. Industrialize, then deal with the solution. In language, there's a saying that mogope will be a meaning. You don't fear to plant cassava because spear grass is there. You plant your cassava and
you deal with the spear grass.
So we have had big number, we shall deal with it. So the fear for tomorrow is that maybe because of this high demand and the tense competition, some people may want to use an underhand. But we have put measures in place. We have put measures in place to deal with it, and we hope we shall mitigate it. But of course, the other thing is that we are also feeling that since we have put measures in place, and remember we are the only party with a code of conduct, the law requires that every political party should make a code of conduct and register it with the Election Commission. But we are the only.
You've only seen that you are the only.
UPC puts it in their constitution. There shall be a code of conduct. It's just mentioned in the constitution.
But it's not there.
Doesn't for us exist. We have a next. We even have courts.
Okay.
Therefore, we hope tomorrow things will be well. But at the same time, honestly, we are also worried that something could be wrong.
Because
of the high contest. Some people may want to use an underhand to outdo his friends. But we have put measures in place.
Interesting. And so that communication to the rest of the parties that for you, you are ready, you know, for what is coming in 2026. Mr. Charles Romushana, I saw you scribbling some notes, but I'd like to give you something, you know, around still this conversation. I know that your ear is to the ground, you notice that there are new political parties that have, you know, been opened up. One is of the Common Man's Party, you know, led by Honorable Munyagwa, and with the sign of what? Rusania, with Pilau on it. That is the symbol they have chosen. You also have, I think as of today, you had the National Peasants Party also showing up and electing their flag bearer, Stacia Mayanja, one of a musician. And so there are several others that had started before, you know, before that. And so in our own, you know, thought process, we're wondering, what's the rationale of opening up political parties towards the elections? You know, what is the target? What is the point? You already have a shorter time to try and mobilize. We're not sure whether you'll get your party. If UPC that has existed for all those years can mobilize and get 68 people, you know, registering. What about you who's just starting? You know, what chances do you have, you know, to try and rally the forces against NRM?
So let me begin with for us, bragging. That they have got 3,800. Why? What is the pull factor? If you scan through them, the pull factor is criminal.
In what sense, Charles?
They are paying money. Actually, they've collected they have collected billions of money from this. But the reason why these people are being pulled is because the National Resistance Army has a rigging machine.
A rigging machine?
Yes. So if you don't want to, if you want a facility to rig for you, then it's the NRA.
Right.
Once you get a flag, then you have the facility to rig for you.
Okay.
That's why in the Soro, there was rigging, and the one who was rigged won.
The one who was rigged?
Yes, in the primaries.
Yes, won.
Won. The age of Sam Kutesa, the daughter.
Yes, Shatsi.
The NRA flag bearer stood down for her because of extreme violence. Now she has had to stand down for Mr. Museveni's brother, again because of violence. In Sechkubo's area, they have already buried.
They have already?
Buried the people.
Yes.
Shot dead. So in other words, if of course, think CMR has just been in the basement, learning, I don't know which language. So imagine now if Sechku was not in their primaries, it would be hunted like. So the others now go in this NRA umbrella for security against. I don't want to go into the Wakanoma group and in those areas of Isingiro. You need to interest yourself in those areas. So they go in because the poor factors. One, it's a criminal outfit. They can be facilitated in crime, rigging, or violence, or murder. Because those ones who murdered, nothing will happen to them. Those ones of the Sechku boys.
No one will
is there. Actually, Washande, they say that basic, not cadet, just basic military training, how to cock a gun, how to do parade, that in terms of academics is equivalent to A level.
Basic military training.
Basic, just basic. A recruit to soldier, because what is in the basic is a parade.
Yes.
Some bit of field craft where you have movement, single file, arrow,
yes,
box.
The direction, yes.
There isn't so much fire and maneuver there, but it's really basic.
It's a basic maneuver techniques
to training, and then skills at arms, and they rarely go beyond an AK-47. How to cook, how to assemble, how to... And then range. If you have done muchaka. Now, that one they say, in terms of academics, that is equivalent. And it's Tanga Odoi says, yeah, a professor who was a member of Senate, Makerere University. So Washande would not, if it was not inside this outfit. So that's why you have a lot of attraction. Right. Others run in for security and others go in for... Right. So those are not legitimate interests. They are criminal, and neither are they lawful. Right. But it's you as a state. So now UPC, maybe those who don't know, but 1980, UPC was extremely very dominant, and it beat Mr. Museveni hands down. But UPC was destroyed through military means. Okay. Because UPC was not UNLA. UNLA is an amalgamation of course Marum of Oito Jokan group, yes, and the Foronasa of Mr. Museveni, and then assisted by TPDF, Tanzania Defense Forces. It was an army. UPC was a political party that organized, campaigned, and won. And it was destroyed. And most local leaders, the chairman of UPCs, were murdered in Ruwero. These people killed them. And they wiped out UPC through military means. Right. Now then you had 20 years almost when political party activity was banned. But Tibironwa won elections in Ushenyi, the CA elections. No, the NRC, expanded NRC. Tibironwa won that election. Even Kanyomo. So in other words, if... Yes. So in other words, if you, UPC. Yes, even when they had overthrown, because UPC was overthrown by Tito Kerorutwa, yes, and then later on, even when they had that shock, they still had some leaders. But since then, political party activity was banned, and the UPC could not hand over to the next generation or organize. So you can't brag here that you see UPC is not there, no. The same is true with the DPs. Most young men of UP DPs were killed. Rugomvo and a host of others murdered. Now, so now when you go for the tomorrow election, it's told you don't fear to plant cassava because
of the
spear grass. The National Resistance Army plants spear grass.
It's the one that plants the spear grass.
So it plants spear grass, and you want to plant cassava, now you have problems. In other words, people who plant cassava have got a further obstacle from the National Resistance Army. That's why Mr. Museveni, not the Electoral Commission, Mr. Museveni, not the Electoral Commission, is pushing for biometric identification.
That is spear grass.
No, Mr. Museveni is pushing for biometric identification during general elections. The demand is not from the Electoral Commission. It's him who has already made a decree that you will not vote unless you are identified biometrically. And but in their general election,
they are not there.
Because in some areas like Chiruhura, etc., most of those areas in the West, those who will win in this election, it's basically a general election. Because as I've told you, they have the rigging machine. They have the rigging machine.
All right.
So in that election tomorrow, they are not going to use biometric identification. Neither are they going to use photos. Because in their register, there is no photo. Your register has no. It's only the name.
Even deep down in the villages, there are photos. Maybe within here, but
no, it's in the name. I don't think your register has. I would doubt.
For the evidences
I would doubt that you have a developed register. The one you printed the other day here in NASA.
We've been working on it.
I doubt you have the photos.
We've been working. Charles, we need to get into our conversation.
But be sure they will not use biometric voter identification. And then to remember, lining up has issues.
Yes, already.
Yes.
So they will use secret ballot still.
Come again?
So they will use secret ballot still.
No, there is no secret ballot.
So how are they elected?
But the principle of a free and fair election is a secret ballot, and it's a constitutional issue. The principle of a free and fair election is a secret ballot. And it's constitutional. For them, they are going to create candidates for a free and fair election based on a secret ballot by using Stone Age mode of selection, lining. And you know it has got its own implications because the decision-making process is not secure.
Yes, at that point in time. Okay. All right, I hear you. Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Romushana, for that. I know
on political parties, I think there was a question on political parties.
Yes,
briefly, there is no new political party.
All those are old political parties.
Yes, the one of Minyagwa is there. They are just simply changing the name. They still have problems with the Electoral Commission, but they intend to change the name. The one of this guy of Masaka, Mpuga was already there.
Yes,
and they merely changed the name. The one you would have called new is the PPF.
The PPF, the joint one.
This is merely FDC minus Amriat and Nanda number 5. This Katonga group is FDC.
But they are still changing.
They just simply changed. They just simply applied for a name, but the entire infrastructure is FDC.
Is FDC. Interesting. So we have no new political parties, just change of names. Interesting. Thank you very much, Major Witch. You'll find another term to add to that. But we'd like to jump into the parish development model, and which started, I think, in National NDP 3 as one, to help get people out of poverty. And the president has been making tours all over the country. This week he's making his final tour. He's already done 2. I think he's resting these 2. No, the one in Kololo will be on Sunday.
See the tour. So yes, he's going to make the final tour.
The final tour in Kololo. But yes, just something about the parish development plan is one to try and get people out of poverty. And it has 7 pillars. That is production, processing and marketing, infrastructure, economic services, financial inclusion, social services, you know, and there was also something on governance and administration mindset change. And so it was looking at 18 commodities under the parish development model, and these included coffee, cotton, cocoa, cassava, tea, vegetable oils, that is palm oil, maize, rice, sugarcane, fish, dairy, beef, beans, avocado, shea nut, cashew nut, and macadamia nuts. And so it is here, it said it's the last mile strategy for service delivery by government of Uganda for improving incomes and welfare of all Ugandans at household level. And so that and much more. But would like to look at this PDM, you know, has it met its expectations, you know, as we look into that? And I'd like to hear from you, the audience, if you have personally gained from the PDM. You can just send us a WhatsApp or a chat on our socials, that is on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Just let us know if you have gained, have you benefited from it. Would like to either sensitize and let the people know what is happening in your community around PDM or that. But I'd like to start with the Major Retired Awich. You know, how well was the PDM communicated to the public at the beginning, and do you think the implementation matched the government's promise?
PDM, of course, as we know, is an acronym for Paris Development Model, that is PDM. It was conceived with deep consideration, with serious consultation, with even benchmarking. Countries like Bangladesh have had a similar thing, where even initiators have won Nobel Peace Prize.
Of the PDM?
Because of, yeah. So it is one of the interventions that has been well thought out in the last election, so that it forms a core. It was not the only one, but it is a flagship program among our programs. It's not the only.
There are several others, of course,
other
yes.
interventions. So, but it's so much of a core idea, core concept in our manifesto, that we call it a flagship program. Now, it's designed and intended to lift people out of poverty. If you look at it in detail, there are so many things that is attached to PDM, including marketing, storage, whatever it is. Because you are not going to give money to people and leave it there. Suppose they produce their sim-sim. Where are you going to take it? Like sometimes they produce maize and fail to get market. So PDM is a package of so many things, but it's our flagship program. And it's producing results because our research proves that in the village people are happy. And we are ready, we had committed ourselves, because when we put it in the manifesto, it formed a document where we would form a contract with the people. We could prove that power lies to the people, and they have given us the mandate to go ahead. So it is succeeding, and it can be seen by the testimonies that happen when President Museveni is there in the process of the tour.
People think these testimonies are staged testimonies. Don't feel they are legitimate. If you went to ask around, even within the city, the feeling is these are staged. You know, some of these things we saw in Operation Wealth Creation, where you'd go visit a farm, they bring the cow, they show to the president, then they take it back after. You know, so how genuine, how, you know, these stories, how legitimate are these stories, Major Retired?
It's legitimate. Why would we stage it to achieve what? Well, if there are people who are fraudulent, especially on the side of the leaders, who might have misused the money, and they want to convince the president by kind way of accountability to show people
Yes.
who have acquired wealth, but not through PDM.
Yeah.
It could be, but that is an isolated cases. It's not the norm. I can't rule out that somebody, Mr. Okello, or Mr. Tumwewaze, or Mr. Mugisha, or Kurut, had his own money. And therefore, because the leadership who were involved in the touching of the money, they can present a Kurut or Okello, but that is not the norm. Because the way they are saying it is like it's a deliberate design by NRM to poster people. No, that is not true. So, it is true PDM is covering. People are happy, extremely happy. They even wonder why we didn't think of it much earlier than this circle. But anyhow, everything has a beginning and an end. So that was the beginning.
Okay. So it was well communicated, and the implementation work. From your perspective, Mr. Charles from Mushana, the communication, the implementation, you know, do you think it was that effective to the people within the communities of the parish development model?
But I would call it parish. How you pronounce it?
A parish.
This model was David Prokhor's idea. Forget about Bangladesh. In any case, you wouldn't pick a model of development from Bangladesh.
Why? Why not?
Bangladesh.
It is better than Uganda, not so. The GDP.
But anyway, David Prokhor proposed it. You didn't go forward. And Honorable was adopted it at a sub-county level. There was a debate. So I think David Prokhor was parish. And Amamba was amended it to sub-county level. And we announced it. Go forward, announced it as a development model. But at
So
the
it wasn't
sub-county,
initially an NRM idea.
I'm giving you the history.
Okay.
Yes. It's like this UPE thing, I think, was Dr. Kawaga Semogeredes. Yes. And the manifesto, and then Mr. Museveni picked it up. But that apart, let's look at the main thrust, the cogwheel of this model. It's about access to finance. So the thinking is good. Access finance to the most poor.
Yes.
How does it work? That at a parish level, have your own bank, microfinance, call it a small bank. Not a SACCO, but a small bank. And then you get grants. You get a grant from government directly to your bank. And then this bank lends to the village, to the parish. People in the parish now borrow from this bank based at the parish.
Okay.
So the main source of revenue of this bank is not the depositors. No, it is the grants from government. And once you receive these grants, it's now your money.
Yes.
So you lend it, and the one you lend goes into production. So what is the main objective of the grant? The main objective of the grant is not to make the bank rich through interest. No, the main objective of the branch is to ensure that this most poor, who is only producing for the stomach, engages in market, engages in production for the market, what they call money economy. So that is the model.
Yes.
If you want to look at its success, one, has it been rolled up to the parish? And two, have people borrowed from it?
Okay.
And point number 3 is the access. Is there equitable access to this facility by the most poor? Now, I monitored, I think, somewhere in Uganda where Mr. Museveni toured, and was asking people, they assembled for him in some village, some women. And he asked them, there were not many, less than 10, around 10. He asked them, one, have you received PDM money? They said yes, but they were giving us half.
They were supposed to receive 1 million.
And you get a million?
Yes.
So he said they were giving us half. He wanted to pick their numbers, but they were reluctant. Probably they could also have been lying, implying that instead of giving, that they know they give us a million, then they say we share it. But in other words, what I see in it is him trying to establish physically whether, one, people have heard about it, and two, whether they are actually accessing it. Okay, I don't have a problem with the method of finding out.
Yes.
Generals do that. People who are in the military,
They
at
go
that
to the
rank,
ground and
you
find
can go on the ground and find out. Physical inspection, you get a feel. So that's the first. From these tours, you should be able to establish whether actually the entire infrastructure was rolled to the villages.
All right.
That's one. Point number 2, whether the money is accessed, but accessed by the most poor.
Right.
Now, he's visited some farmers, but most of the farmers he's visited are a complete lie.
What do you mean?
Yes, you see someone with a fishing pond that is an investment above 10 million.
And he says he got 1 million.
No, the money spent in the pond, the production
million.
is beyond 10 million. Others are talking in terms of hundreds of millions of money. These are not PDM. You get? The PDM is my sister Monica. Yes, on my father's land, our father's land, right father's land, yes, but producing for the stomach. And then now surviving on transfer earnings, donations from relatives for school fees for the children. But for her, she's not involved into production. And I did a PDM for her. I gave her some money and she bought goats. So if she sells those goats, then she has entered into the money economy. So that's how PDM should have operated. So now there should be one, education. So if you are talking about coffee, then you do education, because these peasants who are producing for the stomach don't even know how to do coffee. This coffee, the coffee of this modern day is knowledge intensive, because you have to use fertilizers, you have to use those chemicals. It's really now, and I also know. I have information on Mr. Museveni's desk. He's done a calculation. For you to do an acre of coffee, you need around 5 million. Yes, for you to do an acre. And yet he only gives $1 million. So he knows it, that 1 million is not enough to do an acre of coffee. And even when you do an acre of coffee, it takes around 5 years to mature. So you would need, what do you do between planting and harvesting? Anyway, so that's one. Two, if you, so you need to give the knowledge, and two, you need to look into the plan. Because any banks look at your operation, look at the plan, the operational plan. So what are you going to do? I'm going to look after goats. How many? 2 or 3. So then what are the risks? In case those risks take place, how do they come for a rescue? Because remember, you're not supposed to. Now, you should be checking that. So me, even if you chose only one farmer.
Yes.
Because I've been, and with him, by the way, with Mr. Museveni, I was the chairman of the needy students. Makerere University, and I would get money from him and take care of those needy students, including children from war-ravaged areas. That time of UPA, they were in camps. Northern Uganda, they were in camps. So we would arrange and have them accommodated. The others who had been chased from Mpocha Forest Reserve, and I would take accountability. Show him how we are taking care of the poor. So I don't mind, even if in all these tours, he only visited one person. I don't mind, by the way, the whole of this PDM money, all these trillions of money, restrewing only one poor person.
You don't mind
I know, yeah. Even if all this money had been spent on one person, poor,
to get them out,
to get him out of subsistence production to production to the market, and then we say this one is a success model, right? Now he initially he was beans and nuts for consumption. Now he can go into the market over and above home consumption. Now he can also do the market. And by the way, even if it was at a loss, that he borrowed 1 million and production is only 300,000 in 2 years. I don't mind that. Now we'll be looking at how do you subsidize. Because even France subsidizes agriculture. I wouldn't have a big problem with that. But the whole of this is a lie. It is politicking. It's extremely very unacceptable. I don't support the idea of politicking around the poor. No. We should be 40 years since the World War. We should now be having capacity to get votes without necessarily abusing the plight of the poor. So I don't see much. That's why the crowning Gitore and Kororo. No, because we have a crowd of pigs. It's been inspecting pigs all over. Are you now going to assemble pigs at Kororo? It's really politics. Is mobilizing for votes, but you should mobilize for votes using other slogans, not the plight of poor people.
So the Major Paul retired. From what Charles has said, we're looking at now the measurable outcomes of PDM within the community. Yes, you're saying it was well received, people are happy. He's saying no, okay. There are challenges, there are
by the way,
right from education.
Stealing this money,
yes,
outright is as giving this money to those who are not chidachonka. Even if you gave this money to farmers but who are not only producing for the stomach, it's as good as stealing it.
All right. We will take a quick break, and we will come back with some of your statements and some of your comments on our X, that is Twitter. There's also those on YouTube and also on Facebook. That is at Spirit TV UG. But please feel free to ask any question around PDM. We have the Director, External Affairs, NRM, and he will be glad to answer your questions on PDM. I would like to hear from you. Otherwise, this is Spirit TV. Stay tuned, and we'll be back just shortly.
Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies,